howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this brand new day. Hokey smokes. I woke up at 20 minutes to 8 this morning. It is 10 minutes after 8. I have not changed my background. I am still hurting from yesterday, and yesterday I was hurting bad. Fan on in the window. Gonna be cooler today, and I need to hurry up, so being late, getting up late, this is bad because I'm going to talk about this now. Yesterday I mentioned I was going to be going to an intake thing, and then it would lead to the tiny home stuff where I'd find out about that, and then I'd be able to go from there. I went to the intake thing at this place, and then they said, okay, you're in the system. They threw a couple pieces of generic boilerplate paperwork. They throw it. Everybody goes through the intake and said, have a good day. At which point I was done, and nothing had been mentioned about anything other than gosh, you're in the system now. So I talked to my sister after that, and she was like, oh no. So she was really upset because she talked to the people, and there was supposed to be tiny house stuff going on, and nothing had happened. And so that, I wasn't altogether too upset, but didn't get done the stuff that needed to get done. She called up, talked to a bunch of people. I have to go out to a different place. It's a 3-mile walk to get there this morning. So I have to leave pretty soon because there are a few houses, tiny openings left at this tiny house veteran village. And yes, it is a place for after you have fallen down, you can get your grip, get a foundation underneath you, and then use that as a basis to step up and back out into the world. And so that's not exactly my situation. They are only about 170 square feet. Now, in town, there was a place that I had rejected out of course, because while it was paying about what I pay here, it was only 300 square feet. Now I'm going to have half that if I get accepted. 100 square feet is a 10 by 10 room. Add another 7 feet onto that, and that's 170. So like a 17 by 10 block. Put it in any shape, of course, and that's that volume, but that's, yeah, about maybe this size, so it's bedroom size. But it'll be $500 approximately for rent. If again I get accepted, $500 a month for rent, which leaves me more than I have ever had in the past 7 years. I have lived on about anywhere from $100 to $200 off of my disability every month here for years, where I've had to have just that. In the first couple years I was here, I didn't even have that. I paid for stuff, then I paid for my post office box, the storage unit I had, and a couple other things that I was minus $500 every month. I had no money to spend on anything. So I've had about $100, and then my Patreon patrons you've been lifesavers, literally, because $100 to try and buy everything has just been so tight it's ridiculous. So if I get accepted, tiny little place, a ton of my stuff is going to have to go into storage. But even if it's $200 a month for storage plus $500 a month for rent, that's still only like $700. I'm paying $1,300 for this place. That's a lot of money. So yeah, cutting that in half, even with all these things, they offer like Wi-Fi in a community center, and there's a printer in the community center. So you can pay to get Wi-Fi in your own place. They call it Wi-Fi. Hopefully it's like you can get any, not just Wi-Fi, like DSL or something like that. That would be good. You get your own address, So you get your mail there. It is not, you don't have your own washer and dryer. It costs like $2 to use the washer, $2 to use the dryer. But life is life. Right now, I had come here to this place with a washer and dryer that my wife had bought. The washer has since died. My housemates got another washer. So I have a dryer, and there's been units right downstairs. I just dragged my stuff. Now I'll have to drag it over to wherever the laundry stuff is on site and then do it there. It is literally a bunch of little tiny houses in a confined area. It's like a gated community, except no gate. And then you just have the community center there. The community center open 24 hours. It has the kitchen. No kitchens in any of the smaller places. You have, if you can fit a microwave, stuff like that in there, that's fine. But no kitchens. There's a bathroom and a shower, and that's good. So if I get there, it is going to be continued squashing down and my life getting smaller and smaller. And that's life. If I can get my therapist to write a thing saying that my kitty cat at 20 years old, even so, is an emotional support pet necessary for your mental health, then I'm just suddenly got frightened that my thing over there wasn't recording, and then I'd just been talking to nothing for no one for all this time. But if I can get the thing saying that she's an emotional support cat, then I'll be able to keep her. My therapist has long been telling me that having a pet like my kitty cat here is a very important emotional support thing for me. So I don't think that'll be a problem. So altogether, if I get there, it'll be a squashing down of my life, but that's better than being homeless. And even though it's 3 miles away from me here, pretty close to Walmart. Walmart is far away from downtown. Food bank is 3 miles away from that place. I can't carry 10 pounds or more of stuff. I might be able to use the walker, depending. So we'll see how that works. So thumbs up on that. I mean, that's what's going on with that. That's where I'm leaving here. As soon as this is done and uploaded and such, I am out to go and talk to them. So that's good. Now for the intake, I have mentioned before that, through talking to my therapist, I've come to greater understandings of people and myself in life. If somebody has a worse life than you, and you have a bad life, that does not invalidate any of your pain. If somebody has a better life than you, that does not invalidate any of your joy. People have better lives than you. People have worse lives than you. You're all individuals. You cannot compare your situation to somebody else. Their situation does not invalidate yours. The fact that somebody else has it worse than you will always be true. It will never not be true. Someone will always have it worse because it's subjective. Someone will always have it better because it's subjective. You cannot invalidate your own joys or your own pain by comparing yourself to others. I talked to the guy at the intake at the crossroads in town here, which is the low-income people and such. And I'd mentioned that it sucked with this thing here because I had severed my nerve, my hand was paralyzed, nerves grew back, and then now with this going on, I'm having problems with my hand and my arm again. But I mentioned, people have it worse, people have it better. The person that was doing the intake, their handwriting was not great. And they told me their story. Now, I'm not going to go into any details other than to say that this person is literally very lucky to be alive. No further details other than they had been fairly recently shot several times. They were still having surgeries on their arm to try and get the use of it back. And you can see the scars like here and other places. Lucky to be alive. Does not invalidate any of my problems or issues. When I told my story, it was like, I'd like to say that, I tried to save the president's daughter while fighting a terrorist, but no, it's because I fell asleep against the side of a chair. And when I said that was stupid, he was like, no, the reasons you did it, that was actually rather sweet. Because I didn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. I stayed to watch my wife, and I was so tired I would just fall asleep and lean up against the side of chairs, and that pressure it just severed the nerve like rubbing a rope over a sharp rock until the rope just goes snap. But luckily nerves grow back, which is good. He's still hoping to get more use back of like his arm and such. So thumbs up, here's hoping he does. But that's where I got the intake done, and then had papers thrown at me, and then was told, okay, you're in the system, have a good day. So while the appointment wasn't great, it was also, at least I got in. Now, it was also hard to do, because when I got there, they were having a big old meeting. And the person who gave me the intake was kind of the only person, the person who was least busy while they were doing all their work. Unfortunately, they were having their meeting in the middle of the room, where we were doing the intake on the side with everybody still doing stuff. I rather imagine I looked like a hunted animal while I was walking through the room, because I did not feel comfortable. But then I am just, with my social awkwardness and my anxieties, I was trying not to bolt out of the room. I had to fight. When I was growing up in the early 90s, I was born in 1962. Late 60s, early 70s, and going through school. Nobody knew that I had ADHD. Nobody knew that I was going to be suffering from depression when older. Nobody knew that I was on the autism spectrum. Luckily, high functioning, even though that's not a real term, but they have treated people with problems like mine throughout my life as if they were lepers shoved into special ed, where the big important thing was get you out of the way of the normal kids so that they could learn without having to be bothered by you. And then anything past that was just secondary. I feel, because of my childhood, I feel a certain modicum of shame about my various conditions. I feel shame about my ADHD. I feel a certain amount of shame about my depression. I feel a certain amount of shame about my anxieties and depressions. And these are all from foundations and pillars of my childhood. They are not conscious decisions. They are ways that I feel without any words to them. Another one is shame for being on the autism spectrum. That is a feeling. Subjectively, objectively, you can't be objective. Well, you can be objective. There's always an object, but you're also subject of things, so everything is subjective because you're the subject of it. I feel shame periodically for being on the autism spectrum, and so when I engage in public things that are done, like rocking and such, I try not to do it. And if I discover that I'm doing it, I stop. I kept trying to be rocking because of stress and all sorts of fun stuff. So that part was joyous, and I was holding myself down that way. I stim with my hands while I'm walking. I do all sorts of things while I'm walking. Another one of the things that bothers me when I do it is I do things with my hands as I'm walking, and it's just fun. Nothing is bad. You shouldn't feel bad about stimming. You shouldn't feel bad about rocking. You shouldn't feel bad about any of the things that you do if you're on the autism spectrum and you do those things that people on the autism spectrum do. The shame that I feel, while not bad, is also not good. So I know that I shouldn't be feeling it, but I do. So yay. But take a look over the rest of my list, because there is stuff. Yeah, not a whole lot. Yeah, it's wow. Well, the only real thing I want to talk about is the after this. I mean now. I don't know what I'm speaking. My brain is not functioning, and they're playing just. Again, I fight obsessive compulsive tendencies. My sister has almost got OCD, but she fights from dipping deep into the whirlpool. So, yay. But I went to the store last night because I had to buy cat food and I had to buy cat dirt so I could change my kitty cat's cat box. I also needed to buy some laundry detergent. I bought 3 things: a box of cat food, some laundry detergent, and a container of cat dirt. That cost $70 for 3 things. Oh my God. And it's not like I'm hunting down premium stuff. It's just cheap cat dirt. It's just cat food that she'll eat. It's not special. It's just cat food. And it was just a container, slightly larger. You know, it had like 45 pods in it or something. There were pods. It's easier that way. And there was only 45 pods, and that was it. And it was $70. Oh my God. So, I'm in shock about that. But past that, taking a look at my time, we're at 17 minutes and change, and I still have to edit this, and I have to render it, which actually takes pretty good. The PlayStation Share Factory editor does render these things pretty quick. But then I have to copy it to the USB stick, and then I have to copy it to the computer from the stick. Then I have to upload it, and then once it hits a certain level of processing, I can put it live or public, and then I can head out the door. It won't look great, it may not be processed properly, but at least it'll be public, because I need to get up there because there's still some places available, and I don't want to not get one just because I dragged my feet. Past that, I have been thinking of creative stuff. I didn't write any of it down. I have tried to remember it. I can't write stuff down. If I write it down, I forget to look at it. I forget to bring pencil and paper. I don't look at it. I lose them. If I write them down, I never look at it again. All my life, I have also never taken pictures. I talked with my sister about this yesterday when she was like, you can put pictures up there, you can do this and that. And it's like, I don't. It is a personal thing where I don't necessarily like it. I've tried to take pictures all my life and I don't. If I have, I've never gone back to look at them. I don't put pictures up on the wall. I don't like nostalgia. I don't want to be reminded of times past because the people are likely dead. The place is altered beyond recognition, and the situation can never return. Why do I want to be reminded of good and happy times when things aren't good and happy now? I'm just going to feel miserable comparing the not so great times to the good times. I'd rather not. So that's my rationalization, but it's also along the same lines. I used to have earrings. My ears have grown over. The holes have grown over. It takes work. I used to wear a ring, And when I lost that, but it takes work. So once it was gone, I didn't do it anymore. All these little things that normal people do, I don't. Yay. Oh, itchy upper lip. And then the only other thing that I want to say real quick is, it's been a while now, but when the leader of Wagner's plane was exploded out of the sky, Lord knows I don't like the group Wagner. Lord knows I didn't like the leader of the group. Lord knows I'm not a big fan of everything that the military arm of Russia does. The leader of the group was smart. Hella smart. How could he have been such an idiot as to have stepped down and have Putin still be alive? You don't become an autocratic, dictatorial, fascist, oligarch. And we've already seen how much the guy kills anyone who's a threat. I don't understand how the leader of Wagner could have been such a moron as to just go, oh, okay, and then treat everything as normal. Because, boom! Yeah, he didn't go out a window, like a lot of Putin's enemies, but same result. I don't know. And I want to thank each and every one of my Patreon patrons. I've mentioned before how each of these beautiful and awesome people help to keep me and my aging pet alive. Thank you all so much. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you to each and every person who has donated to my PayPal or to my GoFundMe. Thumbs up and thank you much. For people that I have talked to in the past online, like RJ Mitchell and XREH, I am so sorry that with all of this going on, I have been cocooning hard. So I want to talk to people. I'm not trying to not talk to people. I am so sorry. Thumbs up. And I'm going to go through and thank how many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. The mispronounced username, no disrespect is intended. I count American Sign Language on this hand, but it's just stimming purposes. Okay. I need to get rid of my spotlight here. There we are. We have Jesse Koskinen. Always good to see you in the comments. Thumbs up and thank you. There's J-A-Y-Y. I love my kitty cat. She is smart. She was super smart. She's still smart, but she rescued cats in the past. She's smart, smart, smart. There is Laura. Thumbs up, thank you. Greatly appreciated. We have Jason Cunningham. Thumbs up and thank you. Very good to see you in the comments. Greatly, greatly appreciated. RJ Mitchell. Thumbs up and thank you. Jason Cunningham is somebody that I also talked to on Facebook, and the way things have been of late, I've let that fall and drag, so I need to contact them again. There's Big Chris, thumbs up, thank you much, always good to see you in the comments. There is User. Yeah, and a dorm-sized room is better than being homeless. Paying $2, $4 to get my stuff washed and dried is better than being homeless. So yeah. And then we have Zelos, thumbs up, thank you, and it isn't a silly fear of my getting surgery on my spine and my neck. It's just because people do die in surgery, because people do die in recovery, because people do die from stuff like that. It is a valid fear. It's just that I have blown it up far, far larger than I really need to. It's not a death sentence. There is a risk. I've taken that risk and made it the biggest part. But it's not. It's just a small part. So thumbs up. And then we have BOVEDI or LI. Thumbs up and thank you. And that's it. Thumbs up, thank you, each and every one of you. Doesn't matter how many of you are, even if there was only one. Thumbs up, thank you, greatly appreciated. Well, holy smokes, I gotta edit, render, upload, and then out the door. And it's a cooler day. It's gonna be raining, and that's a good thing. And I gotta talk to the doctor about my neck, but with everything going on, it's hard to remember to do anything at all. I have to call and renew my gabapentin because I only got enough to last till Friday, then it's cold turkey time. So hopefully I can get it renewed before then if I call them now. Well, not now, but today. So thumbs up on that. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. That would be cool, but if you can't, do not beat yourself up. I'm in a rush. Oh, joy. So, until we meet again. And just as a real quick one, I honestly don't know if I'm going to have a game video done. I do the game videos mostly just for habit and routine, since there is no great call for any of my content online. So it's not because of, if I don't, the masses will suffer. It is just, it is a part of the pillars that are keeping my mind going. So that's why I want to get it done. But yesterday I was so beat up from stress, physically and mentally, I couldn't. Hopefully today will be better. Thumbs up for that. Again, so until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And indeed, that is a very good thing. Very good thing. So yeah, I don't know how many times I'm going to keep saying that. So I better stop now.